In the heart of Prague, under the enchanting light of ancient street lamps, Victor felt his heart tighten. The annual charity ball was supposed to be a celebration. However, Victor could not shake the feeling of impending doom, creeping like shadows dancing on the cobblestone pavement. The atmosphere was festive. Laughter and the clinking of glasses echoed through the large hall. But Victor's thoughts were far away. She laughed too loudly, her eyes sparkled too brightly. Victor attributed it to imagination. She was simply enjoying the evening. But when he noticed that Victor was secretly watching a tall, dark-haired man across the room. A knot tightened in his stomach. The man was in a perfectly fitting suit and smiled charmingly. His smile made Alice blush, in a way Victor hadn't seen for several months. Curiosity and suspicion made him approach. Victor pretended to be talking to a colleague, but his eyes were fixed on the pair. Soon the dark-haired man leaned in and whispered something to Alice. Alice laughed, and that laughter was like a knife twisting in Victor's chest. His heart pounded loudly, reflecting his growing anxiety. Unable to bear it any longer, Victor led Alice to a quiet corridor away from the noise of the party. "What's going on, Alice? Are you having fun?" he asked. Alice smiled, but the smile didn't reach her eyes. "Of course, Victor. Just chatting with old friends," she replied. But her gaze darted around, and her voice trembled. The slightest details, a fleeting glance to the side and a slight tremor in her voice, told Victor everything he wanted to know about what was happening. His heart raced wildly. He noticed she seemed different today. "Don't be silly," she snapped defensively. "I'm just having a good time at the party." Her cold and distant tone hurt him more than he expected. Victor felt the familiar weight of betrayal, a chill piercing to the bone. Years of trust and faith in their love were now cracking. The party continued, and Victor was determined to find out the truth. His instinct persistently demanded digging deeper. When they returned home, Alice immediately fell asleep, leaving Victor alone with his thoughts. Moonlight filtered through the curtains, casting ghostly shadows on the walls. He sat on the edge of the bed, struggling with the painful suspicion that he was losing her. In the following days, Victor turned into a detective, carefully gathering fragments of his wife's life. He discovered night calls she took in whispers, unexplained absences for several hours, and frequent quick messages on her phone. The evidence gradually shattered his heart, revealing the painful truth he tried to deny. One evening, after her late return once again, Victor decided to talk to her again. "Eliza, I need the truth. Are you seeing someone else?" His voice trembled, holding back a storm of anger and sadness. Eliza's eyes widened in shock, mixed with guilt. "How could you think that?" she stammered, trying to justify herself. But the guilt written on her face betrayed her. "I see it, Eliza. How you look at him, how you smile. It seems I'm losing you. I had an affair. It all started with friendship, but I got carried away. Please forgive me, Victor." Her voice was only a whisper, each word like a knife in the heart. Victor's reaction was devastating. He felt emptiness. The world around dimmed and turned blurry. Betrayal was a wound, a throbbing pain. "Who is he?" he demanded, unable to contain the storm of emotions engulfing him. "His name is..." Her words remained unfinished, but the truth was already revealed. "Pavel is a colleague from work, but I've ended it. I promise," she pleaded, tears streaming down her cheeks. But it was too late for forgiveness. The wound turned into a burning thirst for revenge. In Victor's mind, a plan was taking shape that would turn the situation around and make Alice feel her loyalty. He didn't just want to cause pain, but for her to regret her choice and understand the suffering she had caused him. Weeks passed, and Victor carefully worked out every step of his revenge. He learned about an important project of Alice's, where she would have to work with Pavel. It was a presentation for the company president. Victor planned to cause a scandal by exposing their connection in front of all the colleagues. On the day of the presentation, Victor arrived early, disguised as a waiter. He quietly communicated with the staff, waiting for the right moment. Alice stood before the meeting hall confident and calm, radiating the same joy she once gave to Victor. As soon as she began the presentation, Victor started the projector, showing images of Alice. Pavel and Alice were captured together at their secret meeting. Intimate dinners, stolen kisses, and whispers of laughter that once filled their home. Suddenly, sighs echoed through the room, and Alice froze, her smile vanished. Shock and humiliation overwhelmed her as Victor congratulated her on the secret being revealed. Victor's voice sounded firm. "It seems your little secret is out." The room erupted into chaos. Alice paled, realizing what had happened. Betrayal burned in her eyes. She turned to Victor with fury and despair. "How could you?" Tears streamed down her cheeks. "Welcome to the consequences of your decisions," Victor replied with satisfaction, watching the chaos unfold around him. Victor experienced the bittersweet victory of revenge, but the emotional cost was heavy on his heart. The feeling of triumph quickly gave way to emptiness. He realized that by hurting Alice, he would not heal his wounds, but only deepen the chasm between them. In the following days, Victor reflected on his actions. Alice lost her job, reputation, and marriage in one explosive moment. Despite all this, Victor felt no joy, only bitterness and regret took hold of him. Revenge turned out to be an empty victory, and Victor realized that true healing is only possible through forgiveness and understanding. Victor pondered for a long time, struggling with the moral complexity of his actions. Had he achieved justice or become the monster he hated? Over time, he decided to face his feelings head-on. Victor understood that he needed to rebuild his life. He was driven not by a desire for revenge, but by the realization that he deserved better. Every day, he learned to forgive. He forgave not for Alice's sake, but for his own. Victor began attending therapy, finding comfort in stories of healing and resilience. His journey was about rebirth, not just revenge. In the end, Victor realized that his story was not just about betrayal and revenge. It was about returning to life, learning to forgive, and letting go of pain. He found the strength to let go of the past and focus on the future. In doing so, he shared his story with the world, leaving a powerful message for everyone. Revenge may seem sweet, but the true path to freedom is through healing. For more thrilling stories of betrayal and revenge, subscribe to Lauren's Tale.